Happy New Year, Calfe family. So, our 10-day grace period for the new year's up. It's time for us to actually get our lives together. I always start on the 10th because there is just no way I'm ready to be, a new person on the 1st. It's just not going to happen for me. My family is still celebrating the holidays at that point. So, now I've gotten rid of all of the holiday leftovers in my fridge. Everything's sort of settled down. It's actually the new year for me. Excuse me. So happy New Year. So as we approach our 2025 goals, usually I will have a song for the year. So I've been praying, like, all right, God, what's our song for the year? Because usually I know what it is by now, and I'm not sure what it is. And so he started in my heart. He's like, we're gonna have a word of the year. Well, that's boring. Everybody does that. I don't want to be like everybody else. So I'm whining a little bit, but he's like, don't worry. Like, it's gonna be awesomely weird. It's fine. And I was like, okay. Well, I had a little bit of faith in this because Social Dallas, I love to watch them online. So for the last 52 weeks, we've been reciting Hebrews 12, 27, and 28, I think. And, anyways, we are an unshakable kingdom. Okay, so unshakable is the word, and it's a really powerful scripture. And we read it together as a congregation. We, meaning the people in Dallas, Texas, and myself. And it's just at the end of it, you're pumped, you're ready to go. You're like, ugh. So unshakable. So I was like, all right, God, what is the word? I'm reading my scripture, looking for those big, exciting words. Like, what's it gonna be? He's like, it's not in the Bible. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Uh, what do you mean? I don't understand. Well, he tells me what it is, and frankly, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that this is the word of the year. I'm embarrassed that this word lives in my head rent free. I got a lot, but I've had time to kind of sit in the embarrassment and realize that no, this is my word of the year, and it's going to be as ready to defeat the enemy as any other word. My word of the year is Ihorpwafas. Yep, Ihorpwafas. Now, there's probably one or two of you who know exactly what I'm talking about. You just giggled. Okay, now for the rest of you who are normal humans, I'm going to tell you about Ihorpwafas. Hannah Montana was a show on Disney Channel, I don't know, 10, 20 years ago. Time is fake. But it was a while ago. We watched it a lot in my house because it's actually a pretty good show. I liked it. And there was this one episode where Rico is the little business owner. He's, teenage kid, and he owns the concession stand at the beach. Well, he's price gouging. Everything's ridiculously high because he has no competition. And Jackson, another character from the show, is fed up. Okay, he's done, and he's like, I'm gonna start my own concession stand because you're stealing from people. And he says, what are you gonna call it? The International House of Failure? IHOF? And he says, no. So they were arguing about the price of a bottle of water. He says, I'm gonna call it the International House of Reasonably Priced Water and Fries and Stuff. Ihorpwafas. Okay, so that's the scene. It's on YouTube. Just type in Ihorpwafas, which are the initials are International House of Reasonably Priced Water and Fries and Stuff. You can see the scene for yourself. I don't own Hannah Montana or anything associated with that. But Ihorpwafas is going to be my word of the year. Because in the show, Jackson did open his stand. And it was a total failure. It was IHOF. It was the International House of Failure. He didn't have a refrigerator. He didn't have, the marketing. He didn't have anything. He just literally had a table that he was trying to sell snacks off of because it was unjust for Rico to be charging the prices he was charging. I'm going to do things just because there is an injustice, just because there is something that needs to be done. Because I feel like we're in a world where there are just so many things happening that should not be happening. And I don't know exactly what it is that I am Ihorpwafasing against, but I am going to give the people an alternative. But I also know that in the episode, the first attempt was a failure. But as his shack totally falls apart, literally disintegrates, collapses, we have the invention of cheese jerky, which is wildly successful. And I'm going to be honest, the first 10 days of the new year, my grace period has been quite a doozy. Okay, life's thrown me quite a few curveballs. And I'm like, all right, God God was right. Ihorpwafas, I am trying my best to do what is right and to help people and to love people and to just be in the right places and do what God has for me to do. And it's failing miserably. And instead of the devastation of knowing that the life that I had in 2024, the life that I had spent years rebuilding, because it's been a rough few years, it's collapsed. But you know what? I'm pretty excited to find out what the cheese jerky is. I'm pretty excited to see how God turns this around and how he makes it all worthwhile, all for his glory. So Ihorpwafas is going to be the word of the year, and we're going to talk more about it. Ihorpwafas. Be praying about what that means to you, because there's something that you can do that God's going to just make into this magnificent invention of cheese jerky, and it's going to be wildly successful. But there's going to be some failure on the way. Don't let the enemy tell you that you're IHOF, that you're the International House of Failure. Because if he had just stopped there, he never would have made it to cheese jerky. I'm not going to take defeat as the final answer. I'm not going to take failure as the end. That's just the beginning. God's going to take all things, all failures, all mess ups, all mistakes, all things out of my control that are unpleasant. God's going to take it all and he's going to make something delicious out of it. So stick around for 2025. I can't wait to see where this series goes. Moo!